I need some Jameson, and I can keep on fighting. Good old Russian tradition.
Yeah. So you'll see I'm taking all kinds of advantage of the little MOLLE strapping you have. I have my bipod extensions here. Howdy guys, Rex here.
Don't try this at home. Love that sound.
Our friend Yuri here is from Siberia. So we're going to compare notes today on how to set up a winter hide using field expedient camouflage. How much does your stuff weigh, dude?
Probably around 80 pounds.
80 pounds. Mine is 73.
I'm not running with it, but...
Yep. Not too bad.
No.
Howdy guys, Rex here. We got the bug out bag, we got all loaded up. If I need to escape in a hurry, I got everything I need in this pack. Now there's a lot of stuff in this pack. I don't know if I'm super excited about walking across the entire country with it, although a lot of it you will consume. Some of it's food, a lot of it's ammunition. You might expend some of that on your way down the journey. But everything you need to get started to maybe not die when the Russians invade or when the apocalypse happens is in this bag. Now, is this going to save you from the apocalypse? No. But is it going to buy you enough time to maybe get to where you're trying to go and to get to a safe spot if normal disaster were to happen, or if, you know, God forbid the country got invaded by space aliens or something like that, something horrible, or chupacabras, you know? Yeah, this is something that you can actually put on if you need to. If you were to be separated from your vehicle and you had to start walking, it does have the ability to carry everything. That being said, if you get a full loadout, it's pretty hefty. So you do want to try going for a walk with it before you get too far down the road and get too comfortable with it. But let's take a look what we got inside, guys. So there's a lot of neat little pouches on this EBERLESTOCK. We're going to unsnap this deal. Now this you could hold all kinds of stuff. In the wintertime, I'm definitely going to have my big sleeping bag probably back here as long as I could. But we have a little pouch down here, a zipper, and there's meshed out on the side here. I'm going to put my socks in here. I just fold it up. So I'm going to take my socks and I'm going to fold them up real tight, like so. And I'm just going to fold this over there, like this. There's a pair of socks there. Like these. I do want these socks actually readily accessible as much as possible. You'd be surprised how important socks are when you don't have them, when you don't have dry ones. And it's nice and soft. Something on the bottom of the pack to kind of cushion the rest of the equipment and keep it quiet. So I got that in there like so. See all the socks in there? These suckers are, there we go. It's a tight fit, but we got them all in there. Okay, we'll open this up here. See what we got. On the inside pouch, we got lots of room for more stuff on here still. I got my 6 tent pegs. I got my zip ties, and I do use a lot of rubber bands to keep together. The rubber bands are good for other stuff too, right? So that's a multi-purpose item. And I got my chem lights. kind of adjacent to these tent pegs so they don't bend and flex and, you know, light off before I need them. So I kind of keep them straight. And you got plenty of usable room inside here. If you don't see that, we got a pouch here, 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 and here. And then if you look on the inside here, we got a couple of big, longer pouches. So all kinds of room for stuff in here. So I got a couple of these 2,400 calorie super ration deals or whatever. And they can fit in here pretty easily. So I'm going to put one on one side, one on the other side, like so. I'm going to grab my fishies. Now this is stuff that can go deep in the pack, because I don't necessarily need to be in a huge rush to get to it. Not like emergency items or anything. So that's going to fit in there. I got 2 there. I'm going to try to keep evenly weighted as much as possible, right guys? This can go on top of here, like this. Okay. And the fish is softer than that, so that'll keep it, them bars from getting all chipped up or whatnot, right? And we have our salt and pepper. I'm actually going to leave that wrapped up just to keep it from leaking till I need it. Put that in there. Got some Kansas City barbecue style sauce so that when I'm eating my bunny rabbit, it tastes better. I got some extra pepper, goes a long ways, it's good for you. You can flavor up the food. Now there's not really a lot of reasons to have the box intact on these. We're going to take them out. Single serve coffees. I'm going to shove them in here as well. Put them in the side pouch. Each one of these is a glorious treat. And that weighs nothing. That's literally weighs nothing. So we got these little emergency candles. They got little metal cups they sit in, right? They're a little rattly. Cup falls off, gets lost, makes a lot of noise. So what I do, being that rubber bands are handy to have anyways, I got some skinny ones, some medium ones. Put a big one on here. So I'm just going to give it a wrap here. Like so I'm just going to give it a wrap here. And wrap it around here to kind of muffle things down. And then one more to come back up on top. Now this ain't going nowhere. Plus, they can rub up against each other and they got the plastic to quiet them down, see? It's about noise discipline and also not losing your stuff and having even more tools. You can wrap rubber bands around a lot of stuff to keep it quiet. A lot of guys use tape, but these are reusable and functional for all kinds of different stuff. So I'm going to use this one here, give it a couple wraps here, and one more across the top to keep it from a different angle. There we go. Look at that. Now I'm going to put them all in a bag, not because these aren't waterproof or something, but I just don't want the wax getting on any of the other equipment that it doesn't need to be on. So I'm just going to put them in a little bag like so. We'll store them sideways like this. Stagger them. If I stagger them, then they'll not even rattle at all. And look at that, they fit perfectly in this little bag. Cool. Now the wax won't get everywhere and we won't lose any of the parts. So I put the candles, got no shortage of pouches here. This is something I'm not going to need on the fly, like real big in a hurry. I'll need these once I park and open up the bag, right? Because then I'll be camping, then I'll need the candle. But I'm not going to be running around needing these immediately accessible, so they can also go in on the inner side here. We also have our mess kit. Now this mess kit's kind of cool because they all kind of hook together if you want them to. You got the fork and the spoon and the knife, and they got the little metal deals. And you can get this stuff at Walmart, guys. That's nice because it doesn't rattle as well, but guess what? It wants to pop apart. Guess what we got to fix that problem? Oh man. Oh geez. Saying obnoxious, but I'm telling you, noise discipline. And in the dark, when you're fumbling around in here, you don't need to be losing stuff, do you? So I'll use a little bit thicker of one here. And that should keep her totally quiet. It'll keep it from rattling against other metal objects that might get in there. Muffle everything down, etc. There we go. Now if they do come apart, we're golden. I'm going to put that, slide that in here with my fish and food. Got my skewers, remember them? So let's pull these out one by one. Okay. Don't need that deal. I might well just leave the zip ties on there. Might be handy for something else, right guys? Like, might be handy for securing it into here. We got lots of real estate. We can just slide them in anywhere, really. Won't take up nothing. Get the idea? And these are dishes that are very easy to clean up at some point. And this is a multi-purpose item. You could use it for all kinds of other stuff too, remember? All right, there they are. So I got my skewers. Could feed up to 4 people on them. Right, so guys, we did put the coffee in the little bag, and we're going to put that in here so that we don't lose track of that stuff. There are a bunch of little deals. We'll put our space blankets, which can be on the inside as well. That's not anything you need immediate, access to, because when you stop to get warm, you're kind of probably stopping, right? So I'm just going to leave those in the boxes. The cardboard might be handy for dry fire starting material. Likewise, I got this. This will also keep you warm as well while you're drinking your coffee and sitting in your space blanket, because this is probably the most important part of the entire kit. We're going to make sure we keep it dry. And guys might think this is silly, but if you're sitting out there and you're able to be lucky enough to find some kind of shelter out in the middle of the bush or something and warm up and find a dry spot, you know, they might not have internet or television. You're going to have to entertain yourself and stuff like that. So this is going to be excellent to have. You're going to wish you had something like this. I'm going to put that over here as well, where it's nice and protected. Right, guys, so dig this. We got some awkward items that are a little noisy, right? We got our little shot sinkers here. We got our Mana filament line for fishing, and we got hooks. A little bit rattly, right? But these containers are kind of handy. You can keep stuff organized with this. You might need hearing protection anyways. So, like I said, if you find a 240 Bravo laying around or a PKM and you're not using your silencer or whatever, this might be nice to have. Okay, so I'm not going to put this in here because I don't need to have lead rubbing off on my earplugs, okay? I'm going to open this deal. In case we got our little fish hooks, they rattle around. I'll do it in pairs. I'll put 2 in here, and that might get hooked on there, but we can deal with that, right? Plus, who knows, maybe the fish will bite at that, right? It looks kind of like a fishing lure. A lot of times they use stuff like this. You can put that through the hook. So it's double as hearing protection and fishing lure enhancement mechanisms. I came up with that all by myself. Pretty sneaky, huh? And I'll put a couple in here. We'll just cram a few more in here. You're saying, oh, Rex, you're going to have to wrestle that out of there. Well, guess what? You're fishing. That's your relaxing time. Relaxing time, downtime. Not going to be doing this again in transit, but that silences your hook system. So now just make sure this lid doesn't come all the way off, because that would really be a bad deal. I'm going to secure it again, and hard plastic can have a loud sound signature. I'm going to put one going this way, and I'll put one going this way. This one's a thick, heavy-duty bugger. I only need 1 wrap. There we go. So even if this little chintzy little plastic deal comes apart, it's not going to have fish hooks all over everything like my socks or my food or something like that, right, guys? Okay, now you can take the steel apart. It's designed to be turned like this, and you can dump them out, but if you just pop it off, it's just a little clip. So what I'm going to do to keep this quiet is I'm going to shove a cotton ball in each one of these deals, And these cotton balls can also be handy for all kinds of other things. If you're cleaning your weapon, you can use it to light a fire. I don't know, can they make flies out of it or something? Do people make lures out of cotton balls, you know? So I'll just put this back on there like so. And then I will find my little center cap and I'll punch her in there like so. Snap. El Snapo, look at that. So now I got rubber bands on there, rubber bands on here, and I'm gonna, guess what? To keep it all together as a fishing kit. Guess what I'm gonna do? That's correct. Oh, what color should we use now, huh? And did you know that you can use rubber bands to make your fishing lures more interesting for the fish? Did you know that? So you think I'm crazy, don't you guys? These darn things. You can put them on your hooks. You can get a bunch of them and hang them off the back, etc. If you're creative, you can do all kinds of funny stuff. And you have to do it this exact way that I'm showing you how to do it right now, or it'll never work, okay? So, no rattle. Very compact. And we got all kinds of additional rubber we can snip off little pieces, put through the hook, and use as fishing lures, and of course cat food if you want a pet cat one day, I guess. All right, so we're gonna put that in our bag. We will put that, because again, if you're fishing, that means you probably pulled over and stopped for the day. We have plenty of time. I'm gonna actually move my spices over on my spice drawer right here. We got our spices and our salt and pepper. And this pack is set up nice. It's very stretchy little pockets. You can pretty much do whatever you need to do. I got my fishing kit here. Now I can go fishing. I can catch food for a long time with that. Lots of hooks, lots of little weights, and plenty of line to do whatever you need to do. Are you scared, buddy? Don't worry about it. I'm with you. Good morning. I will save you.
How are you?
Where did you catch it?
I catch with my hand.
You caught it with your bare hands in the wild river.
Bare hands. It was so hard. So tough. Even he was surprised.
Right about. Okay, so we got my little scrubby. Now I don't want this getting snagged on stuff and whatnot, so I'm just going to slip it into a little bag here. And these little Ziplocs too, guys. Don't be shy to use them. They're handy just all by themselves for multiple things. If you end up catching game, needing a clean place to store some items like food that you catch on the way, not a bad place to keep it in a little Ziploc, right? So we're going to put this in here where it's got some room next to my fishing gear. And we got some basic sanitation stuff. We got some baby soap. So keep that in there too, because when you're fishing and you get that slimy fish, you're gonna want to wash your hands maybe, or not. And the flushable wipes and the field dressing gloves. You got plenty of room here next to the candles. Put that in here like so. Keep them candles from flapping around. Okay. All right. So we still got our super glue and our little watertight first aid kit. This ain't gonna save you from getting shot in the chest maybe, but it is nice to have available in its watertight form to keep everything clean again. Obviously, now this is something we can keep like this to see what's in here, right? You always want to look at what we got. We got Band-Aids. We got some little tape and gauze, etc. Alcohol prep pads. All stuff that could actually save your butt. So to make best use of space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the side of this. So it's not fighting against itself, right? It's all about packing skills, man. There we go. And the cap. We still got good use of our space. Think about anything the way it's packaged, you know what I mean? Most of it's still just empty space. It's a matter of figuring out how to get that in there. So There's a little rubber O-ring on there. We'll make sure that we try to not screw that up. Pack that in there like that. Get it all tucked in. Cam it down like so. She's going nowhere. We got our little string. We can tie it onto stuff. We got a little clip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this someplace because this is just a minor cuts kind of deal. We don't need nothing fancy. But I do want it kind of accessible quickly. So I'm just going to clip the steel on one of these deals here like so. Okay, I always know where that's at. So on the top of the pack here, guys, you see that right accessible to the top, without unzipping anything, you can just reach in through the top and tie this little deal here, right? So you can get in here easy. So there's a couple tools that you might want to keep inside of here, but kind of handy, like your knife sharpener, right? So I got a little piece of zip tie on there, right? And I'm going to hang that through here. Can you see this little snappy? And we'll just attach it in here, like that. There, now I got my knife sharpener handy whenever I need that. Plus, something you might want semi-handy without having to tear your entire pack apart is something like this barometer. And here's the barometer right here. That's something you might need for various applications like weather observation and altitude and navigation and shooting. An analog barometer. Has a little pouch, we can put it in here. You got a little attachment deal here. And that's something we can actually just keep inside here too. Now I could technically attach this outside of here, but I'd rather keep it inside. So don't get snagged on stuff and stuff like that. Try to keep the absolute critical stuff on the outside of this pack. So I got my barometer, my knife sharpener, anything else that hooks with a carabiner clip or anything like that, any tools you can connect in there would be a good place to have them. Another deal you're going to want in your bug out bag is a multi-tool. Now I normally keep a really nice Gerber on my belt. This is not a Gerber, this is something pretty cheap and affordable. But we got a pliers and a little wire snipper and your knife and all that stuff, right? Now you just want one of these in your bug out bag in the event that for some reason either someone needs an extra, you lose yours on your belt, you forgot to have it that day, whatever. It's nice to have an extra one. Again, I'm going to keep it accessible to this top hole for when it's zipped up in case I need it. Is when I'm bugging out while I'm walking, I could almost just reach back here and grab it. So I'm going to put that on the same deal as this knife sharpener. Just run it through here. I'm just keeping tools I want to keep secure inside the bag, but semi-handy towards the top. I'll secure them in here to this. There. So now I got my knife sharpener, my multi-tool, my barometer, all right there towards the top. Easily accessible just on the inside here. All I have to do is unsnap that. Okay. I got the little clip here for my commando saw. It's a good place to hang it right there. Okay. Easy money. Got these little deals here. Might as well keep that clean and in the plastic while we can. No need to do anything different. And I'll just tie this in through one of these bottom loops right here. You guys see what I'm doing? Through the bottom loop. And just kind of tie it on like so. Alright, that's pretty secure right there, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this. Zip it up. So that's that pouch there. That is zipped up. So you see we have this deal zipped up, and from the top I can close it like this, but if I need to get in there, all I do is open it up. I have all that stuff in there. I have my skewers, I have my cord, I have my chem lights that I can just, in the dark, I can grab one, crack it, see what's in here if I need to. I got all my zip ties, I got my barometer, and this stuff, a lot of this is going to move to my belt or my pockets, but the bug out bag, the point of it is just one bag you can grab and you have everything immediately available. So something like this, I'll eventually, once I bug out and find a safe spot, I will go ahead and attach this to my belt. Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? These are little deals. You can get these at the bait shop. They're little lights for your bobbers. You just push in the deal, and then it lights up, so you can investigate, see what's going on. I'm going to keep probably a couple of these in my wallet, but I am going to keep one in my Otis gun cleaning kit. Actually, I'm going to put 2 of them in here. Okay, and I can use that for, it's just something I don't want to lose. And if I'm doing my weapons cleaning at night or whatever, if I'm investigating something like that, but I don't want a huge amount of light, I can use the red one, and it won't waste my night vision, but I still got my stuff ready to rock and roll. So here's my Otis Patriot Series Smart Gun Care Kit. So, but what I do need to get in here is the rest of the stuff, right? And so we have our first aid kit right down here. That's our, not our trauma kit, but our basic one. That's accessible. We got our food, our coffee, everything else. This is our bivy sack. This is something that's relatively this is very lightweight. I mean, it doesn't weigh nothing, but it's insulated. And it comes in its own little bag. This is going to give you some kind of warmth. I'm going to just put this in here. And I don't need that to be, that can go towards the bottom, right? Because I don't need it immediately necessarily, right? That's something you're going to do when you park for the night and set up camp, right? Next thing that we can do is we have some of our food. You don't need this immediately, but you want it towards the top, so in case you're walking, all you have to do is unzip this and grab an MRE, cut it open, see what you need to do. And these are awesome. I mean, you guys know about them. That'll keep you alive for actually quite a while. One of these can keep you alive for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like one meal. This can keep you alive for a couple days. So you can spread that out if you have a little bit of discipline when the time comes. And of course, me, I've been preparing ahead of time on that, so I should be good for a few months without any food. And then, of course, this is our poncho. I'm going to want this towards the top. The very last thing at the top of the bag, guys, is going to be my emergency trauma kit. This is a basic one. You can go a lot more crazy than that. I got my tourniquet here, and this is the ventilated operator's kit. I'm just going to see if I can put this in here as well. Okay, got our tourniquet in there. So I'm going to put my scissors in here. I got my kit. Ready to rock and roll. Okay. This is very quickly accessible right there. Okay, guys? And this lovely deal will fit in this back pouch here. But first we're going to put in our accuracy oil and our carbon destroyer. Part of our gun maintenance system as well. They're going to go in first because of the shape of the kit. One's going to go in on this side. The other one's going to go in on the other side. Keep them apart. And because of the kind of triangular shape on the kit here, this should be able to slide in right between them like so. Now this is our gun cleaning stuff with solvents and chemicals. I don't want to get on my clothes, my socks, or my food, or my eating utensils. That's why that's outside here. Got a couple of Bic lighters. Actually, it's nice to keep them in the plastic so they don't run out until you need them. And then you can use the cardboard for something like maybe lighting a fire with it, right? You got the Bic lighters, and then I got some tinder. And I'll keep that in here as well. So this is my basic, easy start and fire kit here. Okay? And that's immediately accessible, just right there. Very easy to do. Now I got a secondary fire kit here. Okay, this is not dog food treats. This is the fire starters. The cardboard box made it a little bit too much fun to try to get them in there. I'm going to put them in here. They're already in little plastic dealios, but now I can manipulate them as needed. Restack them. Isn't there a game called Minecraft or something where people do stuff like this? So I can just put that in here like so. There we go. Better use of space. I got my signal fire deal. Put that in there. Okay. So I got fire on one side, and I got my matches here. That's there. I can tighten up pretty darn tight there. Now this is all put together very good. I can grab on this and I can leverage that real tight to where that sucker is, you can't even get a finger in there. So I'm not going to lose none of that. Very good design. That's stitched up nice and good. Okay, on the other side, loosen it up a little bit. Okay, here I have my iodine droplets. That's a nascent iodine, and then I have my actual water purification tablets. So I got fire on this side and water on this side here. So there's that. And then I got my Sawyer kit here. Got my syringe, my straw, my filter. Now this can screw right into your water bottles, and you can drink straight out of here, which is pretty darn cool. And we got a little bag deal. Doesn't really take up that much space. Really, it's pretty flat. But I'm just gonna put this in here like this. So I got fire on that side, water on this side. Okay, now I got everything packed up in this portion of the bag. Okay, and the EBERLESTOCK is also covered in, of course, all these attachment points here. So there's a lot of things we can do. So I got my weapons tools, my torque kits, my little bits, all the stuff I'll ever need for that in this little pouch here. And I even got my dinosaur head right there. So I can feel special. So that's attached there. We got multiple attachment points on here. We could go as far as you ever wanted to go with that deal. Next deal we're going to do is we got some room in here. I've got a bunch of spare batteries. I got some extra batteries here. Just put them in there. I got some of these little guys. Good for your rifle scopes and sights, right? Very common. I'll just put that in there. I got some of these little critters right here. And a weird little battery. Put it in there. You got the old 123s. Now, why am I keeping them in the cardboard? So they don't short each other out and electrocute everything, and I can burn the cardboard later. There. That fit pretty easy. I got my lens cleaning kit and calculator in here. Okay. I got my little compass for land nav. Now, a lot of this stuff, like I said, once you get your bug out bag, you're going to take this stuff out and you're going to put some of this stuff in your pocket, obviously. Right, guys? So that's something to keep in mind right there. So we'll just hook this little critter on here like so. Still got more stuff we can put in there. There's our optics cleaning. I got a few hundred rounds of 22 rimfire ammunition stuffed in here just kind of all over the place. Very, very lightweight, easy to carry. I also did put my Garmin 701 4Trex in here so that, you know, when I get moving, I'll put this on my wrist, but I don't want to I don't want to lose that. I want to make sure I have that with me when I bug out in a panic, right? We still have a pouch here. I got my batteries inside the zipper so they don't fall everywhere if I'm trying to get them out when the pack is laid down funny. So we still have this pouch in here. It's actually quite a lot of room in here, okay? And for that, what I'm actually going to put in there is my Ruger Mark IV Ultralight. Very, very lightweight pistol. I can actually equip this with a magnifying optic if I want to, red dot or whatever. I actually like to use the open sights. They're a lot more reliable. If you're a good pistol shooter, you're going to be able to collect game for a long time with something like this. Small game, even large game if you pop them in the head, okay? So that's going to go right in here. That's going to fit right inside there, no problem. And again, when I bug out, guys, I'm going to move this probably to a holster, right? Or I'm going to switch that, throw it someplace else where it's a little more easily accessible. But when I bug out, I want to make darn sure I have that, okay? So there's that. We're going to go ahead and zip that up there real quick. Okay, that's all zipped up. So the next thing I'll show you here is we got all those attachment points. We have some different kinds of MOLLE. We have the 10 mil stuff. We have this other little attachment points. I put in my carbon fiber bipod legs that we showed you on the earlier video here. These are the extenders for the bipod that I normally run on the rifle, okay? Also, I have the AAC suppressor here, which is actually universally adaptable to both my sniper rifle and my Mark 18, which is what I'll probably have in my hands or covertly carried in front of me. But I got my suppressor here in case I need that. Okay, we'll snap that in there like so. Got my RX 2800 rangefinder here in a separate pouch. On this side, I have a spot for my suppressor for my Tyrant 45, which is on the Mark 23 here. We'll go ahead and unscrew that real quick. So here's the Tyrant 45 suppressor for the Mark 23 45 perimeter security deal, and I got that just attached to the outside of the bag. All your fighting equipment you're going to want right now. You're going to want it very available. This is a Field 18 toe support, very lightweight, stuck down with the carabiner clip. Got my cold steel fixed blade Tonto here, attached here. Anything I'm going to fight with, I want right on the bag on the outside. Also, on the side support, I do got a holster here for the Mark 23, okay? So we'll get that in there. So now we got the Mark 23 attached there. And actually, I forgot about this veil here. I'm just going to stuff that in this top pouch because it doesn't take up no room, and it's going to silence anything from rattling around and also keep it from falling out so easily. And we're getting close to the end here. I need my rifle ammo. So on the pouch, on the back here, look at all these handy little handles to grab. We had this system here. You guys remember this, okay? This is MOLLE'd in with a magazine pouch, and I have 100 rounds of precision ammo, federal gold medal ammo for my main rifle here, okay? And that's just stored in the pouches in the plastic. Some of them are in the cardboard, the plastic here. That folds up like so on the bottom, and that will strap up and be attached when we get everything finally put together. But when you detach, she falls down easy peasy, easy to go. So up top we have plenty of room here for the actual rifle. It's accessible right here. Gonna grab that and put her in. Okay. Now you're gonna need someone to hold this up. They can slide all the way in there. And I'm doing this all one-handed because I have a camera, right? Okay, the rifle is now cinched in. We do have the option to go ahead and cinch down the rifle like so. That is attached, not going to fall out by any means. As long as you're carrying it, this is fine. However, if you set the rifle on the muzzle, because it's extended down here, all that weight of the whole pack will be transferred into this optic here. So I actually like to use this extra bag. And I also use it to tie it in to my Arctic Warfare sleeping bag, ECW sleeping bag. And my tripod I tie in there as well. It's just a nice handy way to use it. This sleeping bag doubles as one of them shooting pillows, but it also keeps you alive at night. And then you have a tripod for support, which happens to be adaptable magnetically to this Mark 18. I have an adapter for that, the same as I have on my bolt action here. So I can use this tripod for either of the rifles that I'm carrying. So now we've put in this bag over the top of the rifle, and we've actually cinched it down. And you can pull it nice and tight here, and you're going to want that tight to make sure that it's actually holding the buttstock of the rifle if you set this thing down on the ground on the muzzle there. So that energy and that weight is transferred properly. So now we have the buttstock of the rifle secured by here. 2 clips in the back and 2 clips also in the front here. Now if I wanted to, I could easily tie in this sleeping pack here with the tripod, or just the tripod itself into the webbing on the side or on the pack here by simply loosening the straps. You got a lot of strap available here. And we can tie in shelter halves, sleeping mats, shooting mats, and in my case, an extreme cold weather sleeping bag very, very easily. We also have a lot of usable strap here in the back as well. And if you so choose, you can carry your little carbine with you as you carry your sniper rifle in the back and use the carbine as your primary, your sniper rifle as your secondary, or vice versa. Whatever your forte is, whatever your preference is, that's all great. Very modular, lots of options, very well designed pack overall. And as you can see, when we have this thing mounted, it's very easy to get around with them. You can take this off very quickly and get access to the rifle, and then you do have that immediate access to the sleeping bag and tripod. When you detach this, only takes a couple seconds. You pull out your rifle, you're ready to rock and roll. Good pack. I would strongly recommend this.
Over there yet?
Not quite yet.
Over there yet?
So you got double weapons, triple weapons. You got your Mark 23 here. You got your 50 here. You got your 308 back here, the World War III sniper rifle. It's a Macmillan. We got 22 pistol up here. And we got your silencers. Another thing Growing Boy needs. Got the silencer for the pistol.
You really thought you could get away with it, big guy?
You got it. Alpha 9 or Tango 1-3, this is Pirate Lizard King.
Indexing hasty solution for 7.
What in the hell are you holding?
It's not it's an MP49, it's a saw.
Target's got good cover. What's our danger space for a headshot at TRP-5?
Hi, Mom. It's me and my pals. Say hi, guys.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
You're shorter than I expected.
These are super.